Hello, this is Bonnie, and today I'm going to be using Fairy Hugs Craft Paper's PollenWing. And this is the paper I'm going to be using. I needed something a little bit happy for today. And I'm also going to be using these Fairy Hug stamps. I'm going to be using Peony, and I'm going to be using the mini Hares, which are very versatile because of the direction that they go in. And I'm going to be using Leafy Stalks. These are also ones you could color in because they are open, not solid. And I'm going to be using the wheat stalks. And I'm going to be using the sentiment, which is going to be the focus point for today. Today is full of possible. It's called Possible. So I'm going to go ahead and get the paper set up in my stamping platform, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the sentiment is a focal point, and so I am going to be stamping that first. And we are going to be using VersaFine Clear Nocturne for that. And actually, this is a really good stamp, which is what I'm using it for the images to sit on or stand on. It works really well. The top. All right, that's super. And then the next one I'm going to use is I'm going to use Peony, and I'm going to have her sitting right there on top of the T. I don't think that's going to mess up what it says. I could have her go just a little bit above it, but I think that looks funny. So we're going to have her go right on top of it. And I like her because she sits and she looks down, and she can always look at what's happening below, and I really like that about her. When she was introduced to the Fairy Hugs line, she came with a piano bench, and the piano bench is super. And she also could sit on, there was a music note too that looked really, really good. Anyway, so I'm using VersaFine Clear Nocturne for this because I want the T and her to blend together. Get that little bit of ink off. Okay, I like to wait a little bit because I know that she's got some delicate lines in her, and I don't want to have to stamp her twice. And it looks really super. You can see how pretty she is. Okay, so that's kind of like the setup for that. Then the next thing I want to do is she's going to be looking down at somebody, and that's going to be one of the bunnies. And the bunny that's actually in this set, there's two, but this one right here is looking up at her. And I think that works really, really well. So I wasn't really sure. Yep, I've got that one. I'll set it. Whoops, sticking in my finger. There we go. And I am also going to use a VersaFine Clear Nocturne for that. And then the next ones, I'm going to just add some, I call it filler, but the foliage and whatnot. Give it a little bit more color. Okay, he looks super too. And then I'm going to start doing these wheat stalks. And they kind of fit really well around the sentiment. But I want to try to pull up some of the color in the background, and I thought the VersaFine Clear Purple Delight would work well to pull some of that color out. Now, if I'm wrong, I'll just stamp over this with the Nocturne. think that looks really good. So this is as far as I got in terms of setting things out. So now we're just going to kind of wing it and add whatever I think looks good to the rest. And I kind of like this, how that will frame it. And again, I'm going to use the same color. Okay. I am going to add, I think, another, I want to add some more to that, but I'm not sure for which one I want to add. Because I want the bunny to be, oh, not really sure. I think that works. Okay, that fits around his tail. There's 3 of the stalks in the set, and they are all different in terms of like the direction they go, and well, this one's the tall one, standing up straight. So I think that works really well. But I do think I'm going to add one down here as well. It works really good for grass, just using the end of it. It works really good for grass too. But I'm not using it for grass. All right. And let's go ahead and add some over here as well. Whoops, I just moved that, so I'm going to have to reset that. Had to get that out of the way. Let's see if it'll still work there. Yep. All right, so technically this will be, you know, a really fairly quick card. I am still going to try to tie in the leafy stalks in here, and I'm just going to use more of a faded background color. But it's also allowing me, if I want to color that in, I could. So for this, I'm just going to use VersaFine Clear Morning Mist, just to have a little bit of a filler behind. I could do second generation of these too, it would work. So I'm lightly tapping that, and I'm not going to stamp it twice, even if it doesn't come out full, because I don't want it. Yeah, so that works. I just wanted a little bit of filler. And these work really good because, like I said, they're more of an open, drawn leaf instead of a solid one. So I really like that. It even allows me, like I said, the chance to color that in. I think I am going to come along the bottom. Whoops, but not if my thumb moves it. There we go. So this is just a matter of getting some stamping. And filling it in. And I want to get that across the entire bottom. I think I am going to add the wheat stalk in the middle there. I think I'm going to do that. Add a little bit more color. There we go. All right, I think I'll add a little bit more of the leafy stalks on the other side. Okay, so I purposefully did not stamp it down below because I want it behind the rabbit. I'm trying to avoid his eye too. And I could see that was in between. There we go. And I think one more. Alright, so that looks kind of full where the bunny is. I'm just trying to look to see if I want something up here further. I didn't really want to go through the sentiment so much, but I think I would go with this one. I don't know. I kind of wanted to go up further, but I don't know that it's necessary. I just think this side needs to go up a little bit higher, just because she's up higher to balance it off. And so I'm trying to make it so that stem will join up with the wheat stalk. So it looks like it's continuous even though it's not. It's kind of like, I always say, it's kind of like flower arranging. So that makes it look like it's longer. And then I am going to come in right here to balance that off. Stamping and arranging always seems to take some time. All right, I think I am going to go off to the side too. All right, do that, and we will be done stamping. So the only other thing that I'm planning to do is I'm going to add some color to the fairy's wings, and I'm probably going to color in some of these leaves. So just let you see what that looks like so far, and I'll get the rest of that done. Okay, so I have my card all colored in, as you can see, and I colored in all of the open leaf stalks. And what I'm going to do next, which I've shared in my videos before, is I'm going to be painting with Extreme Glitter acrylic paint from Folk Art. And I'm going to paint the wings like I normally do. I'm going to turn this a little bit so that the light is better. It's a rainy day today, so there's not much light, and I'm trying to use the light as best I can without the overhead because it just glares badly. So sometimes I just don't have a choice. When I videotape, I have to go with the gray days. And Didn't want to block the light, the natural light. All right, so you can see on here that there are several circles, and I decided I am going to add some of this glitter to make those sparkle. Now, there's not a whole lot of advantage to seeing this in the video, but in real life, it'll be really a nice sparkly card. And like I said, I'm just going to add it to all these little circles. I did also edge around the card with fossilized Distress Oxide, fossilized amber, just to kind of like tie in that color with everything I was doing inside of the card. So let's just get these other circles really quick, and then I can show you what it looks like with that glitter when I turn it to the side. And you don't have to be really fancy or anything putting this glitter on, which is also nice. And the glitter, this acrylic paint actually dries quite quickly. And it is acrylic and it does not affect the paper in any way. So it's water-based and it's not affecting it. All right, let me put the cap back on. Can't do a whole lot with the brush until I get done. All right, so I want you to see, I think you can see it's still drying, but there you can kind of, for a second there, see it on the wings. And you can kind of see it. Anyway, so that just kind of adds to it. I just go ahead and pull those colors by adding the glitter to it. So again, I want to thank you for stopping by, and what I used will be in the description below. So see you again soon.